Hi everyone, today we are going to have a look at a NEEL43 and later over there a NEEL47. NEEL is a French-made boat at La Rochelle here. The yard is 2 to 3 kilometres away in the centre of town. The NEEL boat is a trimaran. For those that don't know, you have what they would consider a monohull sailing experience with the space of a catamaran. So starting aft with the central cock, you have your life raft space here, and just either side is an area for putting your dinghy, tender. You just release the topping lift over on the clutch. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Drop the topping lift down, attach it to your dinghy and just hoist it up and set it here on the two rests here, which is great. Straight in, we'll go to the helm station straight away. So I'm going to come over to starboard. It's quite nice with NEEL is all your cleats are really where you want them on the outside, and you'll see that they've done that forward for linking up. And you'll also notice as we go around, all your lifelines are actually in Dyneema. So if anything goes, you can fix it and replace it straight away. You have a self-tailing winch here and 3 little steps up to the helm station, where everything is brought after here. So you have all your reefs, all your reefing line. I assume is in French. You have your main halyards. That'll be a halyard, spinnaker. There we go. Quite explanatory. All your clutches, all back to your winches. This one here is electronic, and this one here, and this clever little gadget is for your traveller, which is pretty cool. All your lines going really nice, handy bags there. I'm sure there's an option for having a hard bin, and just where you want it. Got your B&G electronics, wind, bow thruster just over here. There's something wrong with the camera, never mind. Engine controls on and off, autopilot, and this rather nice wheel. When we get down into the engine space, you'll see, hopefully if we get to see it, that once again all the steering is with Dyneema, and you have your engine controls here. You have a step here to step up onto the roof. Just obviously off to this side is non-slip, but all this can be put into solar panels, and that can be put into solar panels if you want. Getting up to the mast is really easy. All your lines, as I said, feed back to the helm. Everything, I love this, everything is set up on Dyneema, so if something goes you can just repair it straight away. And the other thing that I like too, being up here on the hard top, you'll see got your sail bag, everything's within reach, really easy. You're not having to clamber over anything. Come round, have a quick look around this side of the mast. You've got a couple of steps if you need to come up, but once again it's all very easy. Over this hard top coach roof, whatever you want to call it, it's all non-slip this side. It's really easy to walk around this boat, and as I said earlier, all your lifelines are Dyneema. Raised hatches, but non-slip, which is pretty cool. And they do an option. When I was speaking to Maxime, one of the guys at NEEL in the Cannes Salon, you can in fact have an option for a dolphin seat there, or princess seat, whatever you want to call it. and then they then can bring the lifelines all the way along and forward, and if you have kids you can have nets obviously put all the way round. You can see where the nets come through, there's nothing exposed, so there's nothing to get caught on, which I think is pretty nice. Your forward hatch is, get it open, you have fender storage, your chain is down there from your windlass, and chuck in your ropes and whatever. Electric controls for your windlass. It's a single barrel integral barrel roller. You have your space for code 0, code D, whatever you want on the front, and a Furlex furler. You also another spot here for a jib or something like that if you want, which is very, very handy. As you can see with the solar panels here, they're all flush, but where you see on a lot you have the wire slip gubbins, didgeridoo, whatever. Let me know in the comments below what you call it. The connection, that's actually integrated underneath, so there's nothing sticking up, so you can't kick anything, break anything. We'll go in, have a look at the cockpit, tell me what you think. There is storage underneath here, access to systems, a great big sail locker, and I won't let go of that because of the wind. If you have a look over there, that's your connections for your steering, and it comes all the way back. Very handy, very, very handy. Nice large seat here facing aft. Have a nice little sunbathe and a table for 6 maybe, and just over this side centrally you have a gas grill. Coming through the cockpit into the salon, the main area, they have these windows that slide depending on the weather. They can slide all the way forward. The door obviously meets up there if you need to. If you're in heavy weather, we have all draining here, so you've got nothing going through into the salon. Now there's quite a few configurations you can have with this boat. This can actually be made into a bed. You can have as an option, this one hasn't got it, but you can have a table that goes up and down, so you can make a double here. You have over on the starboard side, this is your heads. It's a wet heads, which isn't an issue because there's loads of space. If you have a look, if I shut the door, this is my head space. I'm 5'8". Once the door is actually shut, this space from where the camera is round is your shower space. I'm just going to turn you around. You have the option of a manual or electric toilet. There's your plumbing for your shower, and there is an option, if you want to, you can have a washing machine set in here and an area for actually hanging your wet weather gear and stuff like that. So it's not actually a wasted space, but as it is at the moment, you know, you can cover it off. Practical. The owner's accommodation, which is just through here. It's a nice double. You have storage under the bed. There's a locker over here which drops all the way down through there, so if you have big bags or you need to hang anything, you have the room to hang, which I think is storage space down along there, and some shelves. And you can, there are some bespoke after pieces you can have done, so you can have some drawers made in there if you want to, or some cupboard space. And down over this side you have mains plug. Here is your hot air vent for heating, lights, USB charges, and it's actually really nice. The handy thing with here, you can be sitting in bed and just pop your head up, look up what's going on in front. Opening hatch. We've seen one with an option photos when we were talking with the sales guy. The owner had actually had a B&G navigation screen put here and so on, so he could actually watch from in here and keep an eye out if he wanted to. Okay, coming out of the owner's suite, back into the saloon. Gonna do the galley. You have oven, cooker. Obviously, being a trimaran, it's a lot more stable. There is an option for a microwave if you want it. It's very practical, serviceable. Kitchen, nice deep drawers, and obviously down there you have cupboard underneath your sink. It's a dual stainless steel sink with a access to your rubbish bin. Mains plugs if you need them, if you've got a coffee machine or blender or whatever here. A nice amount of storage up above. Just above our heads is an opening hatch. All your vapours from cooking. Your fridge is just over here on this side. Big deep fridge and a small freezer up the top, or you can keep it just as a fridge if you want to. It's a nice bit of kit. We'll do the forward cabin in a minute. Your pilot station, helm station, whatever you want to call it, control center in here. You have all your switches for bilge pumps, batteries, etc. Digital displays, all your lights, VHF, hi-fi, all your bits, pieces, all your switches. You can obviously have another, nav screen here, fusion stereo, VHF, bin repeaters, and a compass on the inside. USB charging lights, and I don't know if this one goes to red light. Yeah, it does, which is fantastic. You don't have to bother anybody if you're on night watch. Port side berth, it's a little step down, and you have a fantastic double here. There are options to have aftermarket cupboards or drawers if you want them made, but otherwise out of the factory you have plenty of hangers, these cloth style bags which are really handy for putting things in. A couple of shelves here, and they're going to turn you all the way around, and all this space underneath here which you... There is an option. This is actually the plexiglass screen is in fact an option. Normally is standard. The boat doesn't come with this. You can have it that you don't have a bed down there, you just have a bench seat, and this is quite nice. It has a curtain that draws across for privacy. Wouldn't that be great for our little girl? She would love that. Now coming into, this is all the central part of the hull here. So you have a full double berth. You have to remember, essentially this is a monohull with two hulls, two wings on either side. So you have a very large single V berth. It's not quite a double, but it's much bigger than a single. Loads of space. You have all this shelving, all this space. I know my little girl could crawl up in there. There's loads of room, so you could have an aftermarket cabinet made there if you want to. I would. It'd be quite nice to have, something hanging and so on made in there. You have exactly the same on the starboard side, on your right hand side. Once again, these handy things for putting your phones in or a bottle of water. And underneath the bed you have all your space here, and these are your windlass batteries and so on here, and your changeover for DC, I think that is, AC and D, you know, for going on to mains. But I will ask the guys and they will either say I'm right or I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below if you know the answer. And one thing that is brilliant about trimarans is if there's an issue, you don't have to go outside to look at your engine or your batteries or anything like that. It's all inboard. Simple step down. I can find the light switch. It's a Volvo Penta 50 horse. Terribly sorry about that. I was wrong. But look at all that space. Where we showed you up in the cockpit, the helm station, that's your Dyneema lines coming down for your steering quadrant at the back there, which is fantastic. Easy to repair. You've got your fire extinguisher, engine extinguishing system, starter battery, engine. I mean, it's just a absolutely huge space in there. No problem at all getting in. And come back. Fuel tank number 1, and as you can see, all your electrics, all your lines, everything's marked up. And this is your manifold for all your water system, hot and cold water system, pumps, water filters. Coming around here you have your water heater, water tank, and back there is for all your electronics. Battery bank, you can have extra batteries, lithium batteries, whatever you want. And here is your Victron system, and there is water tank. I will find out from the guys how many litres of diesel and how many litres of water for you, but as a engineering space it is fantastic and super clean. Let me know what you think. For me, it is super practical to be able to get to everything actually inside the boat. You're not having to go outside to do anything, any of your maintenance. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you would like more information, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll get a second video or third video up, because we know later on in the year we've got an interview with these guys in both English and French. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the 47.